Damaris Waiganjo is our next guest. She is a woman lead at the Jubilee Party. Karibu sana to Kenya's biggest conversation.
Thank you.
We call that the
pleasure.
hot seat of the Situation Room. How does it feel?
Hot.
Yeah.
No. It feels hot.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
It'll be a smooth ride. At some point, we'll offer you some water. City will welcome you with the day's proverb. Mm-hmm. And every week, as you know, I'm sure you've seen, City goes to one African country.
Yes.
And he's this week he's supported by Ecobank, the Pan-African Bank. Goes to one African country. He gets proverbs from there. Then he brings us a proverb a day.
Okay.
He's been in the kingdom of Morocco this week.
Kingdom of Morocco. Today's proverb: there is no queue at the gate of patience.
There is no queue at the gate of patience. Damaris, what do you understand from this proverb? What's your interpretation of it?
Whatever you looking at or whatever you're looking to attain, you should be patient enough. And if there is a queue, it means it is worth it. That is my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. It must be worth it. I mean, if you want to perhaps buy a home, perhaps buy a car, it takes hard work. And that is the queue. And it takes time. It just doesn't come overnight. Rome wasn't built in one night.
Right.
Are many people patient enough to wait for these things?
No. And especially not this generation.
People are quick. They just want something now. No waiting. Why are we waiting?
The question has to be asked, why do you think that is so? There has to be a reason.
There's be a reason.
And a good
Yes.
one too. It's not as though this generation have suddenly decided that they're just going to act contrary to what others have been doing. There's a reason why we see this impatience. And there's a reason why they want things now.
But I started from the core.
What's a call?
The parents. We failed. There's a bit we missed. We didn't tell them that, I go to work every day because of this and this. We missed. We told these children, you study, that's all you need to do.
Yeah.
And you don't even tell your children, you see, we intend to buy this. This is how much we've got. We're going to the bank for this much because we can't afford this. So you just come home with a very beautiful V8 and this child thinks, voila, we are rich.
Yeah.
We are rich. They don't know your loans.
How long it's taken you to...
They don't know who was almost hanging you to get that. They don't know that you don't sleep for them to go to a decent school. We have failed because from the inception, we didn't make them part of this.
That's a good one. You're a woman lead in Jubilee. What does that mean?
I'm a woman leader in Jubilee.
Yeah.
It means
Yeah.
that I can put everything behind me, including any criticism. And especially because a lot of negative criticism comes. You choose and say, this is not negative, this is positive criticism. You choose not to fear. You choose to say what people don't want to say. You choose to talk about the most shameful things. You choose to sacrifice yourself for the benefit of others. It is not very common. It is very difficult to do, but it's a choice you must make.
Is this an official position within the party ranks? Or is it that because you are a leader in your community and you're a woman, then you're a woman leader and you also belong to the Jubilee Party?
Well, it started with being that I was vying for Member of Parliament in Kiambaa constituency, which is in Kiambu County. Before that, I was working through politics. I was working with the youth department within the party. Before it was TNA and then Jubilee. And then now that I didn't make it, I am the standing MP of Kiambaa. There is the sitting one, but he just sits around. I am the standing one. I run around and stuff like that. And now I'm with the party. We're trying to push agendas. We're trying to push the tax agenda. We're trying to push everything, the economic status of this country. We're trying to talk to people about the gender-based violence, as you can see what is currently happening. All this forces you to become a leader. You know, even your personal behavior, there's a certain way you have to, because you are accountable to people, the people who are looking up to you.
Yeah.
I can go to TikTok and make a video, but there's a certain limit, because there's certain people who want me to do it in a certain way. They'll be like, oh, if Dama does it like that, I can also do it like that. If I post that I am taking milk, and if I post that I am seriously on booze,
then you're judged in a certain way.
You know, yeah, you're judged. It's not what we want, because, you know, everybody has their own way of living their life. But then if you choose to be a leader, it's purely a sacrifice.
You placed yourself on a certain pedestal.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
Now, in Mount Kenya, well, just like in many other parts of the country, we are seeing some very interesting political developments.
Yes.
Particularly in the politics of Mount Kenya. We had your Secretary General of the party, Jeremiah Kioni, here, and he was saying, you know what, Mount Kenya is what is going to bring down this Kenya Kwanza government because of the expectation versus what they see as delivery.
Exactly.
But also within Kenya Kwanza, we are seeing a lot of conversations around the leadership of the party. There are those who are already coming out to say we want to challenge the position of deputy party leader. The incumbent is not serving this region, and we want. What's happening in Mount Kenya? You people you're impatient.
We're not impatient. You know what happened? We were brought to a certain pedestal through lies. We were told, first of all, your kings and queens are bad people. Okay? This narrative that is currently going on, in that is attacking, that seems to be attacking the other ones. It's not even us, guys.
Yep.
It is the in-house. They're attacking their own
king.
Okay? The Mount Kenya king. It is them. So they started this attack game during the Jubilee government. So if you use this staircase to get upstairs, my friend, you must use it to come down. Okay? You said Uhuru, who's my party leader, is a dynasty, is a bad man, what, and you worked on fighting him for 10 years while you're within government. Then now you're in government, and the only other person within Mount Kenya who is supposed to be the senior most, you have started again for the next 10 years fighting him. Okay? Why my SG said that Mount Kenya will be the one bringing down this government is because the things we were told within Mount Kenya are not realistic. The most unrealistic things, the most shameful to imagine that my own mama mboga in the market can believe that. You know, you could listen to these people because we're on the ground, we're doing campaigns at the same time, and you could listen to the things they've been told, and you're like, oh my God, I need to bring a university here. I need to bring people to train people. I need to do something. You know, you feel terrible.
For example,
we will take all these things that these people are working for, all these taxes that they have put up, all these dollars that they have taken to all heights, all these coffee prices, and bring them down. We will bring money and put it in your pocket. Who has money in your pocket right now? Even I don't have money in my pocket.
It's coming.
Is it?
Patience.
Where? The dollar is going up. Our economic status. Mount Kenya people were lied to. Mount Kenya people are not lied to because they write it down in their hearts. Now they're box checking. This has not been done. This has not been done. This has not been done. And Mount Kenya people are very impatient because they run the economy
of Mount Kenya,
of the country.
Okay.
Largely of the country. Because we're the people around here. We are the ones who have the opportunity to live within Nairobi, work within Nairobi, work within the industries, the manufacturing industries. Now tell me, if it's not a Mount Kenya person in the factory, whoever is there is a tenant of the Mount Kenya person.
So is there really proper disquiet within Mount Kenya region,
Yes.
politically.
Yes.
Is it justified impatience? Because you could say that the same impatience that they exhibited towards your party leader, the former president, could be the same thing that they're exhibiting now. Was it justified then, the kind of criticism that they labeled on Uhuru and his administration?
The Uhuru and
They said, coffee prices.
Yeah.
They said, look at our tea. Look at our milk. Look at our infrastructure. Look at our businesses, the way they are suffering. It is all because Uhuru has failed to deliver to the people. And the people moved with that sway and said, yeah. He has not delivered. If it was unfair then, can you say it's unfair now to move that same blame and bring it to these other guys?
During the Uhuru administration, and especially the first term, people were not impatient. People were waiting. People were patient. They were waiting to see what will happen. This Uhuru administration, which President Ruto was part of, people were very patient. In fact, there was no outcry during the first term. Now this child has not even started walking, and there's outcry. Because Uhuru did not promise the things that have been promised now. He just said, you know what, we are doing badly, we will try and pick up. This guy came and said, let me tell you, from day one, you will be baptized and born again.
And the people of Mount Kenya believed him because from what we see, they gave him an overwhelming vote.
Precisely.
There was a shift in the atmosphere.
Yes.
So what happened at that point for everybody to shift in that direction, if it was so, as you say now, incredible? Unable to believe it.
Yeah, this is somebody who's in marriage with Uhuru. They're in the same government. So you and I are in the same government, right? Then you come and tell me that I'm in this government and I see how things are going bad. And I want to promise you that I will fix it. Yet you have no idea of how to do it. What would make me not believe you? And especially if it's towards the end of the term. Yeah? What would make me not believe you?
Because what, people were desperate?
People were.
Look, let's make some connections here. Because there are things that we can say on podiums and whatever, and we can sound sensationalist, right? So let's look at it from the end, where folks said that people in Mount Kenya were dissatisfied with the status quo, that they were not happy because there was inadequate development in the area, and then more so because the president of the country comes from this area. They expected to see so many things having developed over time. So somebody comes in and gives you a promise and says, okay, well, we're going to make it better. But when people go on the ground, what do they tell us? Actually, these areas are developed. There are roads. People have avenues for their business. So I think we're at pains to understand exactly what the issue is, because in a very short time it would appear as though then the mind has changed, and so one would ask, what is this fickle nature of this region, whereby one time you're dissatisfied, somebody in a flash can change your mind, and then when you wake up to whatever reality, then you can come out and say, actually no, this is not what we wanted. So what do you want?
So what happened during Uhuru's administration? There came a time there was a divide. Uhuru had decided, I'm not going to make anybody happy. I'm going to work. And by the time he was leaving, he had done so much in Mount Kenya. So much. If you look at the campaigns of 2022, and before that, the campaign was Hatukulangi Barabara. Okay?
Yep.
It's not that the road is not there. Fine, you have brought it, but we don't Hatukulangi Barabara. Okay? A dam has been made in Githunguri or Gatondo or wherever it is. And then people say, yeah, you've built this dam to take water to your home. A whole dam. Okay? So it's not like these things were not done. People are going to the ground, they tell you, yeah, there is connect from one place to another. Coffee is being able to, factories, and like now, are licensed again. They can continue doing business. Things are going on the ground. But people got into a notion, you're doing all this to plug yourself. And the campaign was not that you have not done. The campaign was, you're doing this for your own benefit.
Was there evidence to support that notion? Because, there is always an opposing narrative to this. One is that the voting public is very gullible and that they can easily be swayed. And there's others that, no, the voting public is actually very smart and they do understand. Now, when people believe such a narrative, the question has to be asked, what is it about that narrative that made it possible for people to believe? You talk about Mama Boga. No. Even people who went to that university you mentioned, and people who are considered to be well-versed in matters, people who are swayed.
Yeah.
So the question is, what?
Why did they believe all those
Yes,
things?
why?
Why did they connect with that narrative?
And you see, the contradictory narrative also is that the mountain people are practical people.
They're very practical.
Yeah, so what you're saying now, they were being promised things which a practical person will look at and say,
Makes sense.
Yeah, so
you're saying Mount Kenya people are practical people.
yes, it is said they're
Now-
practical people. What happened?
Now they've gone impatient. Are they still practical?
That's what I'm seeking to understand.
Are they still practical?
That's what I'm seeking to understand.
Because there was the fact of atukulangi barabara, whatever projects you're doing. One time I went to Gatundu Hospital, which is now under KU Hospital. And they said that this hospital is being finished faster because it is within Gatundu, where Uhuru comes from. I said, when will you ever step into this hospital? It was given to KU for better management, And he asked, when we, let me ask you. Mount Kenya people are very practical. I agree with you. Now they are impatient because the things they were told, whether they made sense or not, now they don't make sense.
Damaris, why did they believe all this?
It was a wave.
But they are not the only ones who believed it, just so that we understand.
By the way, there was also the matter of dynasties. Okay? There was the issue of dynasties.
How has that one worked out?
Well, it is the same Kenya Kwanza government. If you go to Muranga, he has picked all those dynasties and made them his advisors. The governor, right? All those dynasties. Okay? Why didn't he pick Mama Mboga and make them advisory of development and finance in Muranga County? How come?
See, I'm asking, and I think what we are seeking to understand here is there was a narrative that was pushed in the lead up to 2022 August. Okay? And a majority of the people in Kiambu, in Muranga, in Nyeri, and the other Mount Kenya counties identified with that narrative.
Yeah.
That means that there must have been something that they were unhappy about. Okay? So when you come and you're told, you know what, there's a problem with our coffee prices, you identify with it because there is a problem with
Which have gone worse.
our coffee prices. At that point, if there's a problem with tea, you identify with it because it's true you are having issues with tea. If it's about trade and trading, like you've said, Mount Kenya people are big traders. They were identifying with it because there was an issue then with the tea sector. And then somebody comes and says, I am going to work towards resolving these issues. And they believed and they voted. Barely a year, they're asking,
What happened to these promises?
Where is the answer? Where are the promises that you promised? And that's why I'm asking. So, has anything changed? It appears that it's the same. That same disquiet that was there then is the same disquiet that is
Only
there
gone
now.
worse. It's only gone worse. It's gotten worse. I mean, things were being managed. Things were trying to be improved. It's only gone worse. Because the current administration doesn't have an idea of what is happening. Yeah. They said they do, but they don't.
So there's already a verdict that's been passed. So we thought you'd do it. We are seeing that you're not able to do it.
We are seeing that you're not aware. And we're seeing that you can't. And now, instead of fighting for these things to happen, even the Mount Kenya legislators who are in parliament, who are supposed to get there and put the crap down and say, listen, our people, our factories have been delicensed. They're busy fighting about who is the kingpin. Why aren't they fighting about our coffee? Why aren't they fighting about the finance bill? When it's time for finance bill, they're all quiet. When we want to talk about education in Kiambu, in Mount Kenya, in the nation, they're all quiet. How come it is only Western, those regions, it's only those legislators that are talking about the facts? And by the way, unfortunately, when they speak, the volume is low. But when these ones of ours who are just whatever they are, I don't want you guys getting sued.
During the campaigns, President Uhuru had even gone to Mount Kenya and said, Adwaito.
Why? Adwaito.
Now, those in Jubilee are sitting back and saying, no.
They told you.
But then those in UDA and Kenya Kwanza and in leadership are saying, all right, so a lot is happening. We are delivering. We are working to deliver the promise. The deputy president has taken up the issue of coffee. They shook the coffee share fund. There's some movement happening there on all those issues. But then there's still disquiet among leaders. Those in Murang'a are saying Nyeri has had a president, a deputy president now. Kiambu has had 2 presidents. Murang'a Pia is turn to eat. The next one.
They're not people.
Murang'a, we are not people. And now the Jubilee people, including Damaris Waiganjo, who's a woman leader in Jubilee, and the standing MP from Kiambaa, is saying, it's like you're sitting on the sidelines.
And clapping.
Saying, mnaona.
You see?
But what is this? What's going on?
What did you expect in all reality?
Personally?
No. When you are talking to people, when promises were being made, you were campaigning, they were campaigning. And Tuliwa 1 comes in when campaigns were going and you're saying, guys, well, it's not what it seems to be. But what is this thing that when you talk to people, what did they actually expect they would see?
They thought schools would be free. They thought high school would be free. Now they are paying. They thought bursaries, which is another scam. They've been told, I'll pay for you 3,000. You pay 2,000. Then those people are busy there thinking it's free. Then at the expense of the borders, okay? Because borders are now not being given, like where I come from, borders are not being given bursary. By the way, borders are usually the students that have attained higher scores, so they've been called to schools even within
county and extra
the county, extra county, national, like that. So those ones are now not considered at the expense of the day schools being paid for 3,000, not even fully paid. So it's a whole PR game. They thought money would come to their doorsteps. They thought they would get their produce from the farms at almost zero cost. Very unrealistic things. We told them during campaigns, listen, whatever you want to do it with an outfit you can be able to speak up for yourself. The reason why your MPs cannot talk, your MPs can do nothing is because they're in somebody's house. Can I come to your house and even if you're not home, your child will tell me that is daddy's chair. Okay?
It's known.
If I come to your house, not even your wife or your husband, your house help will tell me, unaweza tolea viatu hapo. Because it is your house. Okay? If I come to your house, there is a cap for visitors. And there is a cap ya wenyeji. Sasa watu wa Mount Kenya wameenda kwa wenyewe, wanataka kukalia kiti ya baba yao.
Kwa wenyewe aje?
Kwa wenyewe.
What do you mean kwa wenyewe?
Because our MPs are in an outfit that they cannot speak.
Why? They formed it.
But we hear them speaking all the time.
Let me ask you, which Mount Kenya MP formed UDA? Which one? None.
What do you mean?
They did not form. They found a vehicle that had been branded, that was ready to go.
But still made the choice to go with it.
That's correct. But hey, They did not bring the votes. They found votes there.
Where?
At the party.
Okay.
Their first meeting at State House with the sitting president, they were told in black and white, I gave you votes. Usually it is the people, it is those legislators that bring the president votes.
Okay, what are you saying?
I am saying...
Let me if I can, from my understanding of what you're saying now.
Yes.
These are individuals who, in their own political capacity,
Yes.
went to the ground and they asked for votes from people at constituency. Vote for me, I carry this. At the vote, people voted for them. Or are you saying that there was something else that was done and they came and they found that they were in those positions by some act of magic?
Remember, first of all, what happened in Mount Kenya? The party leader was campaigning during his tenure as deputy president.
Okay.
He made a base, he created a narrative, he swiped the hearts of people on the ground.
Okay.
Then he came and said, I've removed this beautiful red outfit and I'm wearing this yellow outfit.
Okay.
He created a brand that was so strong for Mount Kenya that even a chicken could go and sit on that seat and still get voted in.
Did the leaders in Mount Kenya not contribute to that?
They went...
Those that are elected now under UDA, did they not contribute to popularizing this brand new party that was now being
by
sold
the
in
time
the
they were getting there, to be very, very honest, by the time every other MP, there were only very few people in UDA. Very few. If you look at the governor of Kirinyaga, she was not in UDA. She came in. It was Ngereshi who was there from inception. They're the people who made this party. Okay? Please note that every other legislator that is elected in Mount Kenya, almost 70% was a sitting MP with Jubilee.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So they were not part of making UDA. They came and found a bus that has been made, wave behind it, and that's why they were being told shamelessly by the party leader that I gave you votes. You did not give me votes.
So we have leaders who are sitting there who cannot think for themselves.
Oh my God.
They cannot think for themselves. They're representing people.
That is what they're doing because...
The question is, are they representing
Are they?
people?
They're
are
meant
not.
to be representing
They're
people.
meant to be representing
But you're saying
people.
that they cannot think for themselves.
They can't.
They just got on a vehicle that was already there and were just
Precisely.
going somewhere.
And that is why a finance bill, such as what is currently going on, was tabled. And nobody spoke. Nobody spoke.
Because they were spineless.
That is why fuel is shooting. Now, first of all, this fuel trick, it was meant to shoot to 220 and then brought to 212. So do you think it has come down? My friend, it is still above 180. It was just a gimmick to go up and then come down kidogo, but the target was 200 bob and above.
Damaris, are you saying that the people voted for Ruto and anybody else in the ticket was a beneficiary?
They're just beneficiaries.
So it was Ruto that the people voted for?
First of all, those who voted for Ruto, because over half the country did not vote for Ruto.
Okay.
Remember the numbers in Azimio?
Okay.
Remember the numbers of the people who did not vote?
Yes.
Yeah?
So I'm saying, no, we're just saying this
Those who voted,
vast majority of the people who participated in the election
yeah.
in
No, I don't want to
2022
say vast majority that participated in the majority.
in Mount Kenya voted for Ruto and not the MPs or the governor. The MPs and the governor were beneficiaries of a
MPs,
Ruto
governors, MCAs, those were beneficiaries of our wave. But listen,
Is it any different from what happened in 2013 or 2017? I'm asking this because I remember former President Uhuru Kenyatta also standing somewhere in a meeting and saying many of these leaders who are now standing up in the podium who are going against what I'm advising that we do were elected on a wave that I brought.
but listen, they had the voice because they were within a party that is within their region. Those MPs could stand up and say, this is not right. You can't do this to us. Now they can't. Now they can't stand up and say, this is not right.
What will happen if they do? Because they can actually.
They can, but they won't. Because they don't have the capacity to do that.
You know, the thing that I find interesting about this politics, and I'm glad you mentioned it. You see, the politics of our country, people talk about regional kingpins. They're just a reality of our politics. It's like our people need a party to galvanize around.
Yeah.
And it works better for them, so we think and so we say, if that party originated or the leader originates from the region, so the people around that region coalesce around that particular party.
Yes.
So I hear you to be saying that Jubilee was such a party for the mountain.
Yes.
And so when people abandoned Jubilee, then the voice that they had was also dimmed because that was their party.
Precisely.
Now, the question we've been asking ourselves here, have they realized this?
People have realized. People are now saying, when I was campaigning, I was telling people I had taken Baba to Bondo. And when we got to Bondo, the people of Bondo were talking about ODM, not even about Azimio. Because it is first my outfit,
Then.
and then this marriage we've come to. In Mount Kenya, it is the opposite. I told people, you people, let us go with an outfit where we'll speak up for ourselves. Whatever you decide to do later, fine.
But we've got our own outfit.
But we've got our own outfit. Who are the people talking now in Parliament?
Okay. So you have, I see two issues here at this point from what you've been saying. There's the whole general Mount Kenya issue where members of Parliament and other leaders who've been elected seem to not be, dancing to a particular tune. But then within the party, obviously, there seems to be, a little bit of, not a little bit, quite a lot of dissonance. There are those who call one SG, there are those who call him not, there are those who call party leader one, those who call, so within the party there seems to be a lot of confusion. And usually a political party will be the guide or the steering mechanism for politics in a certain area. So what then is the party doing to streamline some of these issues that you talk about in the region politically, if the party itself, at its leadership point, can't seem to get its ducks in a row?
Okay, first of all, Jubilee Party is the same old Jubilee Party that was there in 2017. The party leader is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Okay? Anybody besides that, those are busybodies who are ready to auction what is left of us. Because listen, you can't be saying that you want to help or liberalize the people of Mount Kenya, shamelessly come and pick a party that has been created by people. If you're strong enough, if you have the willpower, and if you're very, very correct, you can register a party today and whip everybody, carry everybody in Mount Kenya and tell them, you know what? Uhuru did us wrong. Let us get into this party. Let's move. Why are you trying to fit into my clothes? Why? These are just greedy people. There is no two Jubilee parties. There's only one Jubilee party.
Okay.
Some very ungrateful people have decided we're too lazy, we can't come up with our own.
So we'll take
Let us steal this one, which is impossible, and go show off with it. If you are man enough, woman enough, strong enough, influential enough, and so correct, go register a party. Let's see the movement move with you. Because it's a name, it's a certificate, right? Right? Register one. Go and do what is correct.
and make it popular on the ground.
Make it popular on the ground.
There are very many political parties that
so many. I saw yesterday one was registered.
Whose leaders are from Mount Kenya.
Yeah.
Yes.
Many that were registered and whose leaders are from Mount Kenya. But I'm still seeing leaders from Mount Kenya raising issues. On page 6 of the Standard today, a full page story, UDA troubles deepen as Mount Kenya leaders read from different scripts. It quotes the Senator for Nyeri County, who was elected on a UDA ticket, Wahome Wamatinga. He says he's convinced that it was a major political miscalculation for the region to join the ruling coalition, saying they are paying the price by lacking a voice to bargain for Mount Kenya region. we need to go back to the drawing board and ask ourselves serious questions about our political future. We may not complain about the appointment of our people in government, but we must probe the strength of these appointments. Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga also crying foul, saying in the budget, Nyeri did not receive a coin for development despite voting overwhelmingly for Kenya Kwanza. He is supporting calls for a regional party, which they could use to demand their fair share in the coalition. Another factor they say is, for example, going into the election, the Secretary General of UDA was Veronica Maina. Okay? Of course, now what you're saying is she's from Mount Kenya.
Yeah.
And then that position is taken and given to Western Cleophas Malala. So Mount Kenya people now are feeling
after we gave all the votes. After we gave all those votes. Now they are crying within.
My question directly to you, Damaris. What is it about Mount Kenya? Is it entitlement? Is it impatience? What is it? The party is a national party.
Listen.
Why must you
Kenya
feel
people,
that you know you are in the leadership? The
people,
deputy leader of UDA is from Mount Kenya.
Which one? Which deputy? That guy is a flower girl there. What are you talking about? How can people be run around here in Kenya? Coffee being done for what? And then you say, what? What are you saying? Even that Cleophas guy has more say than him.
You seem a bit upset about that.
Yeah, because it's upsetting. How can Mount Kenya give so many votes, either by they voted or they were stolen for? Give this ruling party so many votes by virtue of voting or being thugged for? Okay? My friend, you scratch mine, I scratch yours.
You know, I'm glad you...
And that is why they are so interested in making sure if Mount Kenya people now have woken up, they're being called impatient. They are being called, I don't know what. Now, what the next strategy is to divide them. Take the Nyoro, fight Gachagua. Take Gachagua, fight everybody else who was vying, whether in UDA or in ODM or in Jubilee, whatever. Just make sure Mount Kenya will never be the same. That Merus will say they are not Kikuyus. And Kikuyus will say they are not people from Nyeri at Umevuka Pale Sagana. That is the agenda. That is why you see Kahiga, the senator, Akina Wamushomba, all those people are saying, you people, Allah, they're only the few, the rest are saying these things. But they call us behind doors there. It's just that they've not gotten a voice to say it loudly. They are suffering.
Hence the question I asked. Are you people entitled? Do you walk around with a sense of entitlement? That you know, because we brought the votes, they're from the mountain, so therefore we should always be called to the table, so therefore we should be owning 60% of the shares because we brought this. So that
we don't even want 60% of the shares. We're just saying, please stop overtaxing us. Even our employees are not from Mount Kenya. Even some people who have employed us are not from Mount Kenya. When you overtax us, it is us who are laid off. Okay? There is no fuel that is paid by Mount Kenya people and paid by Bungoma people. Or paid by even Bomet people. Fuel is the same across the country. We're just saying, as much as you're doing these things, we are speaking up for the rest of the country. It's just that we are the blabbermouths. It's just that we are the loud ones. But when we demand for these things to come down, we are demanding for the whole country, because you can't bring fuel down in Thika or in Ruaka or Mushada. That's why fuel is down, but in the other, no.
It is down in Juja. What all?
Wapi? Mafuta kupika bwana.
Go on.
We're just saying the truth of the matter is...
Has the mountain accepted that they were duped?
Of course.
Or that's what or that I don't is it that you've accepted, or that's what's now causing this irritation? That you realize that maybe
it was a hoax.
Okay, so according to you it was a hoax, and that is the pain point.
The pain point is we thought we were suffering. We thought the economy for business people was going bad. We thought that coffee was not being traded according to how we wanted.
Yep.
Now,
genuine concerns.
We realize we dug a deeper pit. You came and told us that all these things that we are going through will be improved. Okay? By the way...
And none of them have been improved.
Nothing. In Kiambaa alone, I have 16,000 diaspora people living in Kiambaa. Most of them were born there. Luyas, Luos, and Kisis. A few Kambas. Okay? Most of them were born there because their parents came and worked there. The factories that have been closed in this Kiambu County, who do they affect?
The workers. And
Who are the workers?
Part of the 16,000 you're
The
talking about.
residents.
Largely part of the 16,000. Okay? When this guy goes to work, who does he pay rent? Who are the landowners?
See, the people of Kiambaa.
Okay? So if this guy is fired, he packs his things and he says he's going to Bungoma. Who loses?
Both.
We both lose.
Yes.
Because he has left him, his wife, and his 3 children. Okay? He can't pay school fees. He's not given bursary because he's not from there. Okay? Because his ID reads Bungoma. Only his children's birth certificate say they were born in Kiambu. Okay? Who misses out? Will I build a house and live in it?
And you already have a house.
And I already have a house. I could be ahead of this person because I own land. I can build a house for this person to live. The things we were promised are not even near being delivered. They're not even close. In fact, it is getting worse by the day. The dollar is supposed to be 176 or 179. It is 200 what now?
The
dollar is
the 170 you mentioned is well, but it's heading towards 200.
It's headed to
It is
100.
at 160.
Yeah, but it's heading to 200. I am in agreement with you.
But hey, what is happening? This fuel story, it's only in Kenya. Kwani Uganda na Tanzania walichimba mafuta yao? Like we were told to chimbe yetu. Kwani them they're getting fuel from where?
So now, as a leader from this region, in 30 seconds, what are you saying?
I'm saying that this leadership, this government is a scam. We were duped and we are yet to understand what Uhuru meant by saying, Woi adwaitu. These bodies who are busy trying to steal Jubilee to auction it to the same people who are duping us. Shame on you.
Okay. Damaris, thank you for joining us. Damaris Waiganjo is a woman leader from Mount Kenya region, from Kiambaa. She's a woman leader in Jubilee. She vied in the 2022 election for Kiambaa constituency, so she says she is the standing member, working alongside the sitting member of parliament.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.